Today, I am joined by Brigitte Gabriel to help me go through some of the biggest news stories. Brigitte, thank you so much for joining me.
I'm delighted to be back with you, Stephen. Great things happen when we're together.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of great things, has this not been the craziest 2 weeks of a president starting off their next term?
Amazing, amazing. Even those of us who knew he's going to get things done. I mean, it's like drinking from a fire hose. I never expected he's going to do so many things so fast and hit the ground running the way he did. But that's good that he did because, Stephen, most people don't realize we only have 16 months, not 4 years. A lot of people on our side think, okay, great, we elected President Trump. We've got 4 years. He's going to fix everything. No, 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 no. We have 16 months because in the midterm, we're not sure we're going to keep the House. We're not sure we're going to keep the Senate. There are more Senate seats on the Republican side that are up for re-election than the Democrats. So President Trump has only 16 months to get the job done. And that's why they're moving as fast as they are moving.
Yeah, it seems like they've crammed 16 months into 16 days. And with everything going on, the Democrats are literally losing their mind. And I want to go through that. But I don't know if you saw this or not. I read that the phone systems were crashing in Washington, D.C. because so many Americans are calling in demanding RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel be confirmed. Have you heard that? And is this pressure campaign actually working? Are they going to be put through?
Oh, yes, the pressure campaign is working and we are leading that pressure campaign. We are coordinating with all other conservative organizations and we are driving the engagement of grassroots for the conservative movement nationwide. Last night, we shut down the phone system at the Senate. They were receiving 600 calls a minute nationwide. So we are making things happen. Your voice matters. Yesterday, I did 14 media interviews, national interviews, and we gave the Senate number and we said call. And we even gave people the names of the people we want them to focus on, like Cassidy was holding up RFK Jr. You can see the results today. Cassidy all of a sudden saw the light. And now he is voting for our RFK Jr. We expect RFK Jr. to be approved within the next few days. It's passing. I mean, it's almost in the can. He's going to be approved. We're pushing for Tulsi. We're pushing for Kash Patel. We're pushing for all the nominees. Actually, when you go to actforamerica.org, under Get Involved, you will see to the approved Trump's nominees. And you will see we have a clock running with how many days, how many hours have passed, and the nominees have not been confirmed yet. So we show who got approved, who did not get approved. Make sure you're signed up to get our emails and action alerts, because we are sending you emails because we're working with the Senate on the inside. So we know which senator needs to push, who's still sitting on the fence, and we direct all the pressure on that senator or 2-3 senators that we know are holding up the line of the approval. Make sure you are signed up to receive our emails and action alerts. Stephen, this is where grassroots activism works. This is how we can come together and put pressure on our government to impact policy. This is what the Democrats have perfected for the last 16 years, with grassroots organization and etc. We are doing the same thing on the right, and everybody's voice matters. Don't ever discount your voice thinking, what is my voice going to count? I'm a nobody. I'm only one. My elected official needs to hear from 40,000 people. No, your voice matters because your voice represents 1,000 people. That's how they tally the emails and the phone calls in Congress. Your voice equals 1,000. Make that phone call, send that email.
Wow, 600 a minute. That's
600 calls a minute.
That's incredible.
To the Senate.
Yes. I think with what Act for America is doing with your leadership, President Trump saying, I will make your life a living hell if I don't get the cabinet that I want. And people like Charlie Kirk that are pushing, saying, if you vote against us, we will push for recall or we will push to primary you. Is this what motivates people to get off the fence and join a cause? Is it that pressure that's really pushing the agenda?
Yes, the pressure and the excitement. The American people who voted for President Trump and sent him up to do the job. This is the government for the people, by the people, of the people. This is what the United States was founded on. This is what Abraham Lincoln said in his Gettysburg Address when he reiterated those words. We are a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Elected officials answer to us and not the other way around. And I believe the American public, especially the conservatives right now, feel empowered, like, oh my goodness, our voice does matter. We came out and voted and actually got our President Trump elected. And now they want to make sure that his agenda gets pushed through. And then when you take voices of conservative leaders like mine, Charlie Kirk, what the Heritage Foundation is doing, we are all coordinating, we are all working together, and we are all firing up our base, the grassroots, empowering them to make those phone calls. Look, the first time you and I came together, Stephen, when your amazing audience was introduced to me through you, look at the bills we were passing. Look how many people got involved. It is your listeners. This is the base. This is the grassroots. And in today's world, we are mobilizing keyboard activists. We have a digital army. And I want conservatives to start thinking like that. Because in the conservative mind, in the old days, in order for you to be engaged, they thought, oh, you have to show up to a rally, go downtown, show up to do this. Right now, with digital activism, thank God for the internet. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But we are able to notify people at a moment's notice. Look, Cassidy is blocking RFK. Make sure you call Cassidy right now. Or Tillis is blocking Pete Hegseth. The only vote we need to secure is Tillis. Otherwise, we lose Pete Hegseth. Make sure you mobilize the phone calls. So when we are able to target our pressure in an effective way, narrowing down all the pressure going out of one muzzle towards one person or one direction, that's how you impact policy. And people can do it in the comfort of their own home. Our listeners right now who are listening to us, I'm sure sitting with their phone like I'm sitting right next to me. Here I am in the middle of a media interview. Here's my phone by my side on silent. All of us are hooked to our iPhones. So you can take action in 30 seconds or under 1 minute on your iPhone to impact policy. Everybody can do that, even if you have 2 jobs.
Okay. This is a little controversial, but I know you'll be able to answer this. President Trump and his team have had intense yet extremely fruitful negotiations with Mexico and Canada. However, CNN is saying that this was actually President Trump caving to Mexico and Canada, President Trump backing out, and President Trump humiliating himself, proving he's not a great negotiator. Are they right, or is CNN just continuing to push fake propaganda on the American people?
Fake propaganda? These people are so delusional. They're not living in reality. President Trump is doing exactly what he wanted and getting it done. Remember when he started talking about the tariffs, they said, oh my gosh, this is going to destroy our relationship with the world. It's going to destroy our relationship with all the people. Look at Colombia. Look at Venezuela. Venezuela not only gave us back our prisoners that were in prison in Venezuela, but the president said, I'll send my airplane to take back the gangs that you are importing back into the country. And President Trump didn't have to fire a bullet in order to get this done, didn't have to send any troop to Venezuela. He is leading through strength. Look what happened with the latest. Marco Rubio went down to Panama to meet with the Panama with the leadership. All of a sudden, Panama, who gave us so much resistance, now China has nothing to do with controlling the Panama Canal. All of a sudden, they're going to cancel their contracts with China and they're going to start rebuilding their relationship with the United States. This is called leadership through strength. And this is something that the Democrats cannot understand. They are not absorbing. I mean, look, we saw with the Democratic Party, they elected their new leadership and talking about the genders this week about, we need the voices of, a male and a female and then 2 other people from whatever gender. These people are not grasping why they lost. They are not sitting and evaluating armies, corporations, when you go into a business deal, whether you win or you lose, you come together, the team meets, and they say, okay, we're going to evaluate and we're going to write lessons learned so we can keep it in our file, so we will learn in the future what to do and what not to do. The Democrats are not sitting together and making their lesson learned list so they can evaluate why we lost. And this is exactly why they cannot admit defeat. And this is exactly why the mainstream media, the leftist talking mouth of the Democratic Party that lost miserably this last election, still keeping the delusion going by justifying why they're not wrong. So they are having to come up with excuses to justify to their 4 people audience that they are not right, that they are not wrong.
Yeah. I like how under Biden, they killed 100 million chickens and then blamed the egg prices on Trump. It's just ridiculous. But, another example is look at Mexico. How can CNN say Trump got nothing and humiliated himself, and now 10,000 Mexican soldiers will be on the border protecting us? The president is going to work to stop the flow of fentanyl, human trafficking, child trafficking. Justin Trudeau, oh, we're big and tough and you guys need us because of all of the oil. And then they say, actually, we're going to shut down the border. Not only that, we're going to accept less illegal immigrants and we're going to block the fentanyl. President Trump is trying to stop 200,000 people a year from being killed. I think this is a huge win. And yet CNN, in an attempt to placate their base, tells them more lies, and then they wonder why their viewership is down. President Trump is now in office, but Biden's damage and policies are still wreaking havoc on most people's kitchen table issues. A lot of us are carrying really high credit card balances that charge over 20% interest. These are huge payments we have to make each and every month. It's time to get rid of those. So homeowners, if you've been waiting to figure out how to get your finances in order, you need to call my friends at American Financing today. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners like you tap into their home equity to get out from under these high interest debts. They're saving their average customer $800 a month. This is huge. Savings of this kind every month should make the decision really easy. It takes all of 10 minutes and it's no cost obligation for a free consultation with one of their experts on how to help you save money today. And if you start now, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So call my friends at American Financing today. Give them a call at 888-686-8030. Again, that's 888-686-8030, or click on the link down below.
I'm surprised that they continue to lie, because even their base realized that they were being fed lies this election. The donor class realized $1 billion was lost on Kamala Harris's campaign. And what did they do with it? Nothing. They were lying to the people. They were lying to the donors. They were lying to the base, telling them that Kamala Harris is leading. And the base woke up and realized we were fed a lie. We don't trust our media anymore. Even the Democrats do not trust their media. But you would think they would have learned the lesson. They are not learning. That's why they have to keep up the lie. And that's why they're going to lie. I mean, Stephen, for the next 4 years, we're going to see lies like we've never heard before. I mean, now we're already, because Doge is shutting down USAID. All of a sudden, we're hearing about, oh my goodness, the millions of people who are going to die across the globe because we shut down our international help. They're going to have the crybabies come on television. You're going to hear the sob stories about everything. What about our own people? What about our own people who died in North Carolina, who are still living in the wintertime right now in the freezing cold? And in temporary homes, barely with heat. We don't cry for them, yet we are crying about what's happening to the people in Mozambique because they just lost the contract to have DEI opera in Mozambique. Give me a break.
Yeah. Peter Navarro, a brilliant economist for Trump, Harvard professor, he said, the Democrats keep thinking that this is an economic war. This is a drug war. Trump is trying to stop. I mean, 400,000 Americans died in World War II. Well, if we're losing 150 to 200,000 every year to drugs, we've got to shut that down. President Trump is very much against drugs, and so anyway, I commend him for sticking to this. Speaking of USAID, yesterday it was trending on Twitter that with Trump telling Elon Musk to investigate USAID, that Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security would be shut down. Every single Democrat leader losing their minds, telling their voters they're going to ruin Social Security, they're going to ruin Medicare. I don't see any connection between USAID and Social Security and Medicare. Is this just Democrats lying to their own voters again?
Yes, it's Democrats lying because they do not want the program shut down. The USAID is the biggest waste of money going to internationally, not to the United States, but in the United States. The Democrats have been able to use the organization to funnel money to work against our own citizens. And here's what I mean by that. They are 9 agencies that takes care of migrant and helps US who are recipients of USAID in helping the migrants and migration and suffering people around the world. Don't you know it, Stephen? Suffering, hungry people around the world. So 7 out of these 9 organizations are Christian organizations, and they are not passing the bucket on Sunday morning to collect the over $1 billion that they receive in government grants from USAID, but they are collecting it from the people. They are receiving it from the government. To give you an idea, and I'm actually going to make a video about this, but I have some notes in front of me because I was working on it. So here are some of the recipients of USAID. Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services. Do you know how much they got from government contracts last year? $221,476,051. $221 million in government grants. These are the people who are paying lawyers in Mexico, in Colombia, all these teaching all these migrants about their rights in the United States. HIAS, the Hebrew Immigration Aid Society, received in government grants $69 million in 2023. The World Relief Corporation of National Association of Evangelicals. I'm talking about evangelical organization, charitable organizations here. Here you go. It received $126 million. $26,563 in 2023. 2023 are the latest numbers they have posted on the internet about their financial statements. When you have Christian organizations receiving $126 million, $69 million, $221 million, and I only gave you examples of 3 because I'm still writing my script to do my video. 9 major organizations are receiving money from USAID, from government grants for this type of baloney. And we are paying for it. Why are we giving the World Relief Corporation, which is an evangelical Christian organization, $126 million or $221 million to the Lutheran Immigration Services in order to spend it on lawyers in South America and helping people in different parts of the world migrate to the United States, while our people in North Carolina are still hurting, while people in Palestine, in Ohio are still suffering? Why are we doing this? Good for Doge. They need to eliminate every dollar that they can. This is stealing from the American public. We are literally funding our own demise, which makes me think about the Roman Empire, Stephen. The Roman Empire, no one could defeat it militarily. They were the superpower of their time. The Roman Empire was defeated from within because they decayed from within. And right now, our government is taking our tax dollars, your tax dollars, and my tax dollars, giving it to people, organizations like this in the millions, to basically fund those who are breaking the law to come to our country, rape our children, kill our innocent people in the streets. And that's unacceptable. And that has to stop.
Yeah. Oh, I just read a story this morning. An Ecuadorian illegal immigrant, breaks in and violates a grandma in her sleep. Then New York works overtime to bury the story, get the guy out of jail. Luckily, ICE grabbed him, found out, he's being booted out of the country. But this cover up is sad. You know, what's really sad, I think you're Christian, I'm Christian, is they're using the goodness of Christianity to go do evil, right? Which is to use the back door to fund our own invasion, to fund taking us over. It kind of reminds me of like out in California, where they keep increasing the budget to take care of the homeless, and homelessness is growing. The only thing that's getting better is more jobs to take care of the homeless. Like, so it's a very broken system that needs to be repaired. But
exactly. And there's a lot of money riding on the line, Stephen. Look, you and I are churchgoers. When somebody asks us to pass the bucket around to help the homeless in our community or to help whatever, somebody that needs help, you and I put in the $20, the $50, whatever we can afford in the bucket. That doesn't come out to $221 million a year. The Lutherans, their churches are dying, or the Catholics, or whoever. And I haven't even talked about the Episcopalians. I haven't even talked about the rest of them. I mean, they are not raising the money from people like you and me and the good-hearted people who really want to make a difference in their community, and the money stays in the community. These people are getting millions of dollars, like you said, to create jobs, to fund and take care of people who are breaking the law. They have used religion as an end to justify the means. In other words, you can lie and be a criminal and break the law. That is forgivable because you're doing it out of the goodness of your own heart. There is nothing in the Bible that says you can commit a crime because you love Jesus. Jesus didn't say that. He didn't order anybody. You can lie, you can steal, you can kill. It's okay as long as you're doing it for what you believe is good at the end. There's nothing in the 10 Commandments that asks any Christian to do that. And right now, the American public, Stephen, are seeing through all these lies, are seeing through all these shenanigans. Trump is shining a microscope. He's shining a microscope on the swamp. I mean, talk about true swamp. This is no more figuratively speaking. We're talking about the swamp, the human swamp in Washington, D.C. that is destroying our country. And the American public now have a front row seat in watching what's really been going on in D.C. while we were not paying attention.
Yeah, the fact that the Democrats are freaked out and fighting this, like they didn't fight.
That's why they're fighting.
They didn't fight this hard for Roe v. Wade. It tells you that they know a lot of their donors are about to be cut off. The USAID budget is over $50 billion. But help me just clarify something for my audience, because a lot of them are older. There is no connection between Social Security, Medicaid, and USAID. Is that correct?
Not that I know of. Okay. And even if there is any remote connection to that, President Trump will protect that. We are not going to allow our old people to suffer. President Trump got elected to put America first and the American people first. We will make sure our elders are taken care of before we send money to Mozambique to take care of somebody who never paid a dime into our system, who despises our country, who doesn't want to have anything to do with us. We are not sending our money to Gaza or Syria or Lebanon or Egypt or Dubai. Not Dubai, they are rich, they've got enough money. Or the Houthis in Yemen or Afghanistan. We are sending money to Afghanistan by the millions. Why? This money is going to stay in the United States, and it's going to stay in the United States to take care of Americans. So Medicare is safe, Medicaid is safe, Social Security is safe. And what they are trying to do right now is basically put whatever remnant that is useful from USAID, put it under the State Department. This is the job of the State Department. The USAID was founded to serve America's interest overseas, to serve our interest. So if it meant us giving some aid to a country we're trying to earn brownie points with because we want contracts or we want deals or we want something, it went to serve the American people. That should come under the State Department. That's what State Department is for. Let them make those decisions. Not some, people working on the government dough at USAID. It needs to be shut down, rearranged, and that's exactly what President Trump and Elon Musk are doing.
I have a feeling behind the scenes, we have Senator Ron Paul. He put out a video yesterday where he said that USAID is the shadow government, and that it is stealing American taxpayer money in order to overthrow the elected government as well as the American people. Now, with everything that you're seeing, do you believe that this is the shadow government?
It's not, the shadow government is not only in USAID. The shadow government is in the State Department. The shadow government is in the FBI. It's in the CIA. It's in the Department of Education. It's in every department, every governmental control department we have in Washington, D.C. The IRS. We have a shadow government that worked diligently to destroy Trump, even when he was president. You know, they never thought he's going to get elected in 2016. That's why they did not worry about Trump. They laughed at him. They thought, Hillary's going to be elected for sure. Trump will never make it. To everybody's surprise, Trump won the election. And that's when they started diligently working against him. They wanted to make sure he did not win in 2020. They created COVID. I mean, whatever they had to do to ensure he doesn't win. They even tried to kill him this time, twice. And he survived. And he survived for a reason. And right now, President Trump is in office 10 times smarter than when he walked into office in 2016. Now he knows exactly how the game is played, and now he knows exactly what he needs to get done. And I have to tell you, we worked on these executive orders. You know, all of a sudden you see, first day in office, 150 executive orders were signed. We've been working on these executive orders since June. These executive orders were written in June, July, August, September, October, leading up to the election, waiting till when President Trump gets elected, everything is ready to go. We even gathered resumes of people that will be put in positions within government, qualified people who are trusted, that the day President Trump wins the election, they will immediately be hired, go into their jobs, and start working on cleaning house. President Trump is going to be able to do within the next 4 years, definitely 2 years. And this is why Doge has only till July. Remember when he started Doge and he gave them until July and everybody said, oh, how come only 2 years? Because we know we're not sure we're going to keep the House or the Senate in the midterm election. That's why he knew we've got only 2 years to get whatever we need to get done, 16 months. And that's why they're working as hard as they're working.
Yeah, they're working 120-hour weeks. They've got cots set up. They're sleeping there. Unfortunately, the Democrats have tried to dox the young men that Elon Musk has hired to come in. It's so gross to watch how they
the government is working like we work, like the private sector. I mean, you and I work at the private sector. You know, we actually work. I'm working 6 a.m. in the morning. I get up, I check my email, I read, I do whatever I need to catch up on. I'm literally having a board meeting with some of my board members on the phone, talking, sipping coffee, 7 a.m. in the morning, 7:30. I work, I'm giving interviews till 11 o'clock at night on the West Coast because, you know, I'm on the East Coast, you know, and their primetime drive and their radio stations. My day starts 7 a.m. in the morning and ends at 11:30 at night. This is how the real people work who want to get things done. Government employees are lazy bums sitting on their behind while we pay their salary. I've worked with these government employees. They're the laziest of the bums. I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, but truth hurts, and that's reality. And finally, they've got a commander-in-chief and Elon Musk who says, okay, everybody's going to get back to work. You're going to work like regular people, not in your pajamas at home. You're going to come to work, you're going to perform, and you're going to get the job done. And that's why the Democrats, their head is about to explode. Yeah.
They're dismantling the permanent class. Speaking of that, President Trump came up with this brilliant idea to buy out people's contracts. Hey, we'll give you money through September. All you have to do is quit. And if you don't quit and you don't take the deal and you don't come back to work, you're fired with no pay. So far, 20,000 people have taken Trump up on that. They believe that hundreds of thousands more will. It will save about $100 billion. Is this how we get the government back to being efficient?
That's a part of getting the government back to being efficient. Absolutely. Look, it's going to take a lot to get the government back to being efficient. The government has gone unchecked for 50 years, half a century. You're not going to turn it around in 2 years just because we have President Trump in office. But he's going to do a lot to start turning the ship around by cutting expenses, bringing top brains like Elon Musk, putting business people in his administrations who are going to run things, who are not bureaucrat, but actually there to get the job done. Not because they're building a career. They already had a career. Pete Hegseth was making $2 million a year sitting as a morning anchor on Fox News. He didn't need to cut his salary to $200,000 a year to work 16 hours a day under President Trump for 4 years to take care of the government. We have people now working in the government who actually want to get the job done. And that's how you start. It's a start, but that's exactly what we needed. And you know what? We need this for 8 years. 4 years are not going to be enough. Look at the damage Obama did to the country with him being for 8 years in office. Trump came in for 4 years, and then we had another Biden for another 4 years. So we need a minimum of 8 to 12 years to really fix America. And that's what we are looking at.
Yes, and I hope that is the case. Okay, in our final minutes together, I know you guys have been working to get Trump's cabinet confirmed. Is there anything that my audience can do? And are there any other big projects that you need our voices to help get across the finish line?
Yes, we are now working on the birthright bill. It's already introduced. If you go to our website, actforamerica.org, you'll see it in the banner. Take action on that Act Now campaign. Take action on confirming all Trump's nominees. And make sure you sign up to get our emails and action alerts. We're going to be working on so many bills coming down the pipeline. Remember how I told you we started working on the executive orders back in June? So now we have a lot of bills that are going to be introduced between now and June that we need to make a big push as much as we can in Congress to make sure they pass while we have the House and the Senate. We need everybody engaged. We need everybody informed. Make sure you are signed up to receive our emails and action alert. Become a member. Stand with us. Support us if you are able. Together, we can take our country back and preserve our country. And it's going to take all of us together, Stephen. We need people to forward this podcast to everybody they know. Put a link to this podcast on your Facebooks, on your Twitter. Share it with your friends. You send a lot of joke emails to your friends. Send them this podcast. Together, we inform and we mobilize and we engage people. And that's what it's going to take. Go to actforamerica.org. Right now, sign up and join us. Become a member. That's how we can make a difference.
Awesome. Takes a village to raise a family. Takes a village to get stuff done in DC. Brigitte, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to put those direct links down below, as well as to your X account so that people can follow you. Thank you again for all that you do. You are an American patriot, and I look forward to seeing everything else you guys get done. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Stephen. Great being with you.